Hi, my name's Margaret, and I'd like to discuss today with you the cases for parental alienation and how that plays out in our lives and how that relates to the ex-partner and how it relates also to the court's operations in Australia. Our case was earmarked already by the judge as parental alienation. However, there wasn't a processing pathway for that to be adequately managed. But along the way, we did understand a lot of the dynamics that operate in parental alienation. So I'll just clarify for you what they are. There are three criteria that I've found in all the cases. The first is that the attachment bonds with the child are severed or repressed in such a way that normal loving bonds and a relationship can't be fostered. You're prevented from that loving bond, and yet your child really needs that love to nurture her or him and to be a motivational force in the building of relationships for that child and managing that child's identity. But these attachment bonds are severed, or at least greatly repressed, and you don't have access to your child. And that limitation on you creates the environment in which you need to go to court to try and bring back that access. And that's the problem, because the second part of parental alienation has a drastic impact on us all, and that's the narcissism and borderline parenting and the narcissistic weapon that is the family court. The family court and your ex operates to criticise, condemn, defensively blame, isolate, split. You're all the bad person. I'm a good person. You're inadequate. You could deserve to be abandoned. I'm the great person. I'm here for my child. I'm going to do the single parenting thing, and I'm just so great, and you're so awful. And there's this splitting so that you're all bad, all your family's bad, everybody should be removed except the person holding the child. And this projection, if I'm in pain, I feel terrible inside and it's all your fault. That is the dimensions of the court processing. It attacks you. Legal aid has a positive intention to remove you from your child's life by any means possible. Whatever allegation comes to mind, they will use. There doesn't have to be any evidence about it. It's just an allegation. And the third aspect of it is that there will be a narrative that has to be played out that you are not the victim. Even though you take the case to court, you're not allowed to be the victim. There will be a narrative role where you have to be the perpetrator. And therefore they have to find you at fault of something. Your family has to be at fault of something. And you then need to be managed by claiming you need to go to some sort of parenting group or some sort of classes or whatever. It just keeps the whole conflict going, that even you have to have supervised visits. The other person doesn't have to have anything, nothing for them, only for you. So this sort of completely uneven, unbalanced dynamics go on in family court. You take the case to court, but you're not allowed to have your case heard. So the three components of parental alienation, the attachment bond severing, the narcissistic borderline credentials of criticising and then the narrative that doesn't allow you to be a victim of anything, those three things need to be present, and probably are always present, I would think, in cases of parental alienation. How do we deal with it? It's very hard, isn't it? Because you don't get a chance in the family court system to voice any protest. There's no overseeing of the legal aid to have it balanced at all. There's no supervision of the judges. It's very, very difficult. And the problem is made worse is that the legacy of this practice of alienating you leaves you with this feeling that you were blamed. You were blamed for what has happened in your life. You were at fault. If you had only done a better affidavit, if you had only got a better lawyer, if you'd only found a better doctor, something else, you're the one that's to blame for what the court has just done to you. And you're never to blame. You're the loving parent. You're the parent that's to guide your family to a better future by loving. And we need to step back from this and say what's going on, that all these people behave in such an atrocious way, and never step back from people's vulnerability and say, I think we could fix this family. I think we could say something nice about this family. I think it would be nice if you all try to get along, try to see the best in each other, take steps to mend and separate effectively for the benefit of the child. But that's not what's happening, is it? And why isn't it happening? Well, clearly people are smarter than I that would know all of this is going on. So why aren't they stepping up? It seems that our parliamentarians are locked into a relationship with some domestic violence advocates and feminism, and it's got its claws in all of it. So no one can say anything that might suggest women lie or men lie in these proceedings, and the lawyers are lying. You know, well, we can't say anything like that. Well, we do have to say things like that because we've got people suiciding on a regular basis. We can't just say that there's nothing wrong with this. Our parliamentarians can't be being paid off to have a feminist agenda so they can get votes. Was that it? Is that simply what it is? Why aren't we all up in arms with this? We've got children abused. We have a court system that fails pretty much everyone. And if you've got a case going to family court, you need to understand what's the positive intention of your ex-partner and what is the positive intentions of legal aid. Are they wanting to remove you? Be clear about what their intentions are and question that. Are they trying to remove me as a parent? Are they just trying to find anything that they can to remove me as a parent? Because that's causing the parental alienation. Just that dimension of the family court is causing this. They want you removed, or at least limited to a once a weekend dad. We can do so much better. We can make a space for people to get things wrong at times and then fix it. That's what we do in families. We don't expect everybody to be perfect all the time. Oh, they've got a problem. Well, step in and fix it. Separate amicably. Make arrangements for each other to be in each other's life, moving on. You created a child together. You chose that child's father or mother. You've got to make that relationship work best you can. Bye for now.